First Chronicles chapters 23 through 29 of the Holy Bible, American Standard Version. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Chapter 23. Now David was old and full of days, and he made Solomon his son king over Israel. And he gathered together all the princes of Israel, with the priests and the Levites. And the Levites were numbered from 30 years old and upward, and their number by their polls, man by man, was 38,000. Of these 24,000 were to oversee the work of the house of Jehovah, and 6,000 were officers and judges, and 4,000 were doorkeepers, and 4,000 praised Jehovah with the instruments which I made, said David, to praise therewith. And David divided them into courses according to the sons of Levi, Gershon, Kohath, and Merari. Of the Gershonites, Ladan and Shimei. The sons of Ladan, Jehiel the chief, and Zetham and Joel, 3. The sons of Shimei, Shelomoth, and Haziel, and Haran, 3. These were the heads of the fathers' houses of Ladan. And the sons of Shimei, Jahath, Zina, and Jeush, and Beriah. These 4 were the sons of Shimei. And Jahath was the chief, and Ziza the second. But Jeush and Beriah had not many sons, therefore they became a father's house in one reckoning. The sons of Kohath, Amram, Izhar, Hebron, and Uzziel, 4. The sons of Amram, Aaron and Moses. And Aaron was separated, that he should sanctify the most holy things, he and his sons forever, to burn incense before Jehovah, to minister unto him, and to bless in his name forever. But as for Moses, the man of God, his sons were named among the tribe of Levi. The sons of Moses, Gershom and Eleazar. The sons of Gershom, Shebuel the chief, and the sons of Eleazar were Rehabiah the chief, and Eleazar had no other sons. But the sons of Rehabiah were very many. The sons of Izhar, Shelomith the chief. The sons of Hebron, Jeriah the chief, Amariah the second, Jahaziel the third, and Jekameam the fourth. The sons of Uzziel, Micah the chief, and Ishiah the second. The sons of Merari, Malai and Mushai. The sons of Malai, Eleazar and Kish. And Eleazar died, and had no sons, but daughters only, and their brethren, the sons of Kish, took them to wife. The sons of Mushai, Malai and Eder, and Jerimoth, 3. These were the sons of Levi after their fathers' houses, even the heads of the fathers' houses of those of them that were counted in the number of names by their polls, who did the work for the service of the house of Jehovah from 20 years old and upward. For David said, Jehovah the God of Israel hath given rest unto his people, and he dwelleth in Jerusalem forever. And also the Levites shall no more have need to carry the tabernacle and all the vessels of it for the service thereof. For by the last words of David the sons of Levi were numbered from 20 years old and upward. For their office was to wait on the sons of Aaron for the service of the house of Jehovah in the courts and in the chambers, and in the purifying of all holy things, even the work of the service of the house of God. For the showbread also, and for the fine flour for a meal offering, whether of unleavened wafers, or of that which is baked in the pan, or of that which is soaked, and for all manner of measure and size, and to stand every morning to thank and praise Jehovah, and likewise at even, and to offer all burnt offerings unto Jehovah on the Sabbaths, on the new moons, and on the set feasts, in number according to the ordinance concerning them, continually before Jehovah, and that they should keep the charge of the tent of meeting, and the charge of the holy place, and the charge of the sons of Aaron their brethren, for the service of the house of Jehovah. End of chapter 23. Chapter 24. And the courses of the sons of Aaron were these. The sons of Aaron, Nadab, and Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar. But Nadab and Abihu died before their father, and had no children. Therefore Eleazar and Ithamar executed the priest's office. And David with Zadok of the sons of Eleazar, and Ahimelech of the sons of Ithamar, divided them according to their ordering in their service. And there were more chief men found of the sons of Eleazar than of the sons of Ithamar, and thus were they divided. Of the sons of Eleazar there were 16 heads of fathers' houses, and of the sons of Ithamar, according to their fathers' houses, 8. Thus were they divided by lot, one sort with another, for there were princes of the sanctuary, and princes of God, both of the sons of Eleazar, and of the sons of Ithamar. And Shemaiah, the son of Nathanael the scribe, who was of the Levites, wrote them in the presence of the king and the princes, and Zadok the priest, and Ahimelech the son of Abiathar, and the heads of the fathers' houses of the priests and of the Levites, one father's house being taken for Eleazar, and one taken for Ithamar. Now the first lot came forth to Jehoiarib, the second to Jediaiah, the third to Harim, the fourth to Seorim, the fifth to Malchijah, the sixth to Mijamin, the seventh to Hakaz, the eighth to Abijah, the ninth to Jeshua, the 10th to Shechaniah, the 11th to Eliashib, the 12th to Jachim, the 13th to Huppah, the 14th to Jeshebeab, the 15th to Bilgah, the 16th to Immer, the 17th to Hezar, the 18th to Hapizez, the 19th to Pethiah, the 20th to Jehezkel, the 21st to Jachin, the 22nd to Gamul, the 23rd to Deliah, the 24th to Maaziah. This was the ordering of them in their service, to come into the house of Jehovah, according to the ordinance given unto them by Aaron their father, as Jehovah the God of Israel had commanded him. And of the rest of the sons of Levi, of the sons of Amram, Shubael, of the sons of Shubael, Jediaiah, of Rehabiah, of the sons of Rehabiah, Ishiah the chief, of the Isharites, Shelomoth, of the sons of Shelomoth, Jahath, and the sons of Hebron, Jeriah the chief, Amariah the second, Jahaziel the third, Jekameam the fourth. The sons of Uzziel, Micah, of the sons of Micah, Shamar, the brother of Micah, Ishiah, of the sons of Ishiah, Zechariah, the sons of Merari, Mahli, and Mushi. The sons of Jaaziah, Beno. The sons of Merari of Jaaziah, Beno, and Shoham, and Zachar, and Ibri. Of Mahli, Eleazar, who had no sons. Of Kish, the sons of Kish, Jeremiel, and the sons of Mushi, Mahli, and Eder, and Jeremoth. These were the sons of the Levites after their fathers' houses. These likewise cast lots, even as their brethren, the sons of Aaron, in the presence of David the king, and Zadok, and Ahimelech, and the heads of the fathers' houses, of the priests, and of the Levites, the fathers' houses of the chief, even as those of his younger brother. End of chapter 24. Chapter 25. Moreover, David and the captains of the host set apart for the service certain of the sons of Asaph, and of Heman, and of Jeduthun, who should prophesy with harps, with psalteries, and with cymbals. And the number of them that did the work according to their service was, of the sons of Asaph, Zachar, and Joseph, and Nethaniah, and Asherelah, the sons of Asaph, under the hand of Asaph, who prophesied after the order of the king. Of Jeduthun, the sons of Jeduthun, Gedaliah, and Zeri, and Jeshaiah, Hashabiah, and Mattathiah, 6, under the hands of their father Jeduthun, with the harp, who prophesied in giving thanks and praising Jehovah. Of Heman, the sons of Heman, Bukiah, Mattaniah, Uzziel, Shebuel, and Jeremoth, Hananiah, Hanani, Eleazar, Gedalta, and Romantiezer, Joshbekasha, Malathi, Hother, Mahazioth. All these were the sons of Heman the king's seer in the words of God, to lift up the horn. And God gave to Heman 14 sons and 3 daughters. All these were under the hands of their father for song in the house of Jehovah, with cymbals, psalteries, and harps, for the service of the house of God. Asaph, Jeduthun, and Heman being under the order of the king. And the number of them with their brethren that were instructed in singing unto Jehovah, even all that were skillful, was 280. And they cast lots for their offices, all alike, as well the small as the great, the teacher as the scholar. Now the first lot came forth for Asaph to Joseph, the second to Gedaliah. He and his brethren and sons were 12. The third to Zachar, his sons and his brethren 12. The fourth to Izri, his sons and his brethren 12. The fifth to Nethaniah, his sons and his brethren 12. The sixth to Bukiah, his sons and his brethren 12. The seventh to Jesherelah, his sons and his brethren 12. The eighth to Jeshaiah, his sons and his brethren 12. The ninth to Mattaniah, his sons and his brethren 12. The 10th to Shimei, his sons and his brethren 12. The 11th to Azarel, his sons and his brethren 12. The 12th to Hashabiah, his sons and his brethren 12. For the 13th, Shubael, his sons and his brethren 12. For the 14th, Mattathiah, his sons and his brethren 12. For the 15th, to Jeremoth, his sons and his brethren 12. For the 16th, to Hananiah, his sons and his brethren 12. For the 17th, to Joshbekasha, his sons and his brethren, 12. For the 18th, to Hanani, his sons and his brethren, 12. For the 19th, to Malachi, his sons and his brethren, 12. For the 20th, to Eleazar, his sons and his brethren, 12. For the 21st, to Hothir, his sons and his brethren, 12. For the 22nd, to Giddalti, his sons and his brethren, 12. For the 23rd, to Mahazioth, his sons and his brethren, 12. For the 24th, to Romamtiezer, his sons and his brethren, 12. End of chapter 25. Chapter 26. For the courses of the doorkeepers, of the Korahites, Meshelemiah the son of Korah, of the sons of Asaph. And Meshelemiah had sons, Zechariah the firstborn, Jediel the second, Zebediah the third, Jethniel the fourth, Elam the fifth, Jehohanan the sixth, Elioenai the seventh. And Obed-Edom had sons, Shemaiah the firstborn, Jehozabad the second, Joah the third, and Sakar the fourth, and Nethanel the fifth, Amiel the sixth, Issachar the seventh, Peuletai the eighth, for God blessed him. Also unto Shemaiah his son were sons born, that ruled over the house of their father, for they were mighty men of valor. The sons of Shemaiah, Othni, and Raphael, and Obed, Elzabad, whose brethren were valiant men, Elihu, and Semachiah. All these were of the sons of Obed-Edom, they and their sons and their brethren, able men in strength for the service, 62 of Obed-Edom. And Meshelemiah had sons and brethren, valiant men, 18. Also Hosah of the children of Merari had sons, Shimri the chief, for though he was not the firstborn, yet his father made him chief, Hilkiah the second, Tebaliah the third, Zechariah the fourth. All the sons and brethren of Hosah were 13. Of these were the courses of the doorkeepers, even of the chief men, having offices like their brethren, to minister in the house of Jehovah. And they cast lots, as well the small as the great, according to their fathers' houses, for every gate. And the lot eastward fell to Shelemiah. Then for Zechariah his son, a discreet counselor, they cast lots, and his lot came out northward, to Obed-Edom southward, and to his sons the storehouse, to Shuppim and Hosah westward by the gate of Sheliketh, at the causeway that goeth up watch against watch. Eastward were 6 Levites, northward 4 a day, southward 4 a day, and for the storehouse 2 and 2. For Parbar westward 4 at the causeway, and 2 at Parbar. These were the courses of the doorkeepers, of the sons of the Korahites, and of the sons of Merari. And of the Levites, Ahijah was over the treasures of the house of God, and over the treasures of the dedicated things. The sons of Ladan, the sons of the Gershonites belonging to Ladan, the heads of the fathers' houses belonging to Ladan the Gershonite, Jehieli. The sons of Jehieli, Zetham, and Joel his brother, over the treasures of the house of Jehovah. Of the Amramites, of the Izharites, of the Hebronites, of the Uzzielites, and Shebuel, the son of Gershom, the son of Moses, was ruler over the treasures, and his brethren. Of Eliezer, came Rehabiah his son, and Jeshiah his son, and Joram his son, and Zichri his son, and Shelomoth his son. This Shelomoth and his brethren were over all the treasures of the dedicated things, which David the king, and the heads of the fathers' houses, the captains over thousands and hundreds, and the captains of the host had dedicated. Out of the spoil won in battles did they dedicate to repair the house of Jehovah. And all that Samuel the seer, and Saul the son of Kish, and Abner the son of Ner, and Joab the son of Zeruiah had dedicated. Whosoever had dedicated anything, it was under the hand of Shelomoth and of his brethren. Of the Izharites, Chenaniah and his sons were for the outward business over Israel, for officers and judges. Of the Hebronites, Hashabiah and his brethren, men of valor, 1,700, had the oversight of Israel beyond the Jordan westward, for all the business of Jehovah, and for the service of the king. Of the Hebronites was Jerijah the chief, even of the Hebronites, according to their generations by fathers' houses. In the 40th year of the reign of David they were sought for, and there were found among them mighty men of valor at Jazer of Gilead. And his brethren, men of valor, were 2,700, heads of fathers' houses, whom King David made overseers over the Reubenites and the Gadites, and the half-tribe of the Manassites, for every matter pertaining to God, and for the affairs of the king. End of chapter 26. Chapter 27. Now the children of Israel after their number, to wit, the heads of fathers' houses, and the captains of thousands and of hundreds, and their officers that served the king, in any matter of the courses which came in and went out month by month throughout all the months of the year, of every course were 24,000. Over the first course for the first month was Jashobeam the son of Zabdiel, and in his course were 24,000. He was of the children of Perez, the chief of all the captains of the host for the first month. And over the course of the second month was Dodai the Ahohite, and his course, and Mikloth the ruler, and in his course were 24,000. The third captain of the host for the third month was Benaiah the son of Jehoiada the priest chief, and in his course were 24,000. This is that Benaiah who was the mighty man of the 30, and over the 30, and of his course was Ammizabad his son. The fourth captain for the fourth month was Asahel the brother of Joab, and Zebadiah his son after him, and in his course were 24,000. The fifth captain for the fifth month was Shemhuth the Izrahite, and in his course were 24,000. The sixth captain for the sixth month was Ira the son of Ichesh the Tekoite, and in his course were 24,000. The seventh captain for the seventh month was Helez the Pelonite of the children of Ephraim, and in his course were 24,000. The eighth captain for the eighth month was Sibbecai the Hushathite of the Zerahites, and in his course were 24,000. The ninth captain for the ninth month was Ebiezer the Anathothite of the Benjamites, and in his course were 24,000. The 10th captain for the 10th month was Maharai the Netophathite of the Zerahites, and in his course were 24,000. The 11th captain for the 11th month was Benaiah the Pirathonite of the children of Ephraim, and in his course were 24,000. The 12th captain for the 12th month was Heldai the Netophathite of Othniel, and in his course were 24,000. Furthermore, over the tribes of Israel, of the Reubenites was Eleazar the son of Zichri the ruler. Of the Simeonites, Shephatiah the son of Maacah. Of Levi, Hashabiah the son of Kemuel. Of Aaron, Zadok of Judah. Elihu, one of the brethren of David. Of Issachar, Omri the son of Michael. Of Zebulun, Ishmaiah the son of Obadiah. Of Naphtali, Jeremoth the son of Azriel. Of the children of Ephraim, Hoshea the son of Azaziah. Of the half-tribe of Manasseh, Joel the son of Pedaiah. Of the half-tribe of Manasseh in Gilead, Iddo the son of Zechariah. Of Benjamin, Jaasiel the son of Abner. Of Dan, Azarel the son of Jeroham. These were the captains of the tribes of Israel. But David took not the number of them from 20 years old and under, because Jehovah had said he would increase Israel like to the stars of heaven. Joab the son of Zeruiah began to number, but finished not, and there came wrath for this upon Israel. Neither was the number put into the account in the Chronicles of King David. And over the king's treasures was Asmaveth the son of Ediel, and over the treasures in the fields, in the cities, and in the villages, and in the castles, was Jonathan the son of Uzziah. And over them that did the work of the field for tillage of the ground was Izri the son of Kelub. And over the vineyards was Shimei the Ramathite. And over the increase of the vineyards for the wine cellars was Zabdi the Shiphmite. And over the olive trees and the sycamore trees that were in the lowland was Baal-Hanan the Gederite. And over the cellars of oil was Joash. And over the herds that fed in Sharon was Shitrai the Sharonite. And over the herds that were in the valleys was Shaphat the son of Adlai. And over the camels was Obil the Ishmaelite. And over the asses was Jedidiah the Meronothite. And over the flocks was Jazez the Hagrite. All these were the rulers of the substance which was King David's. Also Jonathan, David's uncle, was a counselor, a man of understanding and a scribe, and Jehiel the son of Hachmoni was with the king's sons. And Ahithophel was the king's counselor, and Hushai the Archite was the king's friend, and after Ahithophel was Jehoiada the son of Benaiah, and Abiathar, and the captain of the king's host was Joab. End of chapter 27. Chapter 28. And David assembled all the princes of Israel, the princes of the tribes, and the captains of the companies that served the king by course, and the captains of thousands, and the captains of hundreds, and the rulers over all the substance and possessions of the king and of his sons, with the officers and the mighty men, even all the mighty men of valor, unto Jerusalem. Then David the king stood up upon his feet, and said, Hear me, my brethren, and my people. As for me, it was in my heart to build a house of rest for the ark of the covenant of Jehovah, and for the footstool of our God, and I had made ready for the building. But God said unto me, Thou shalt not build a house for my name, because thou art a man of war, and hast shed blood. Howbeit Jehovah, the God of Israel, chose me out of all the house of my father to be king over Israel forever, for he hath chosen Judah to be prince. And in the house of Judah, the house of my father, and among the sons of my father, he took pleasure in me to make me king over all Israel. And of all my sons, for Jehovah hath given me many sons, he hath chosen Solomon my son to sit upon the throne of the kingdom of Jehovah over Israel. And he said unto me, Solomon thy son, he shall build my house and my courts, for I have chosen him to be my son, and I will be his father, and I will establish his kingdom forever, if he be constant to do my commandments and mine ordinances as at this day. Now therefore, in the sight of all Israel, the assembly of Jehovah, and in the audience of our God, observe and seek out all the commandments of Jehovah your God, that ye may possess this good land, and leave it for an inheritance to your children after you forever. And thou, Solomon my son, know thou the God of thy father, and serve him with a perfect heart, and with a willing mind. For Jehovah searcheth all hearts, and understandeth all the imaginations of the thoughts. If thou seek him, he will be found of thee, but if thou forsake him, he will cast thee off forever. Take heed now, for Jehovah hath chosen thee to build a house for the sanctuary. Be strong and do it. Then David gave to Solomon his son the pattern of the porch of the temple, and of the houses thereof, and of the treasuries thereof, and of the upper rooms thereof, and of the inner chambers thereof, and of the place of the mercy seat, and the pattern of all that he had by the Spirit for the courts of the house of Jehovah, and for all the chambers round about, for the treasuries of the house of God, and for the treasuries of the dedicated things, also for the courses of the priests and the Levites, and for all the work of the service of the house of Jehovah, and for all the vessels of service in the house of Jehovah, of gold by weight for the vessels of gold, for all vessels of every kind of service, of silver for all the vessels of silver by weight, for all vessels of every kind of service. By weight also for the candlesticks of gold, and for the lamps thereof of gold, by weight for every candlestick, and for the lamps thereof. And for the candlesticks of silver, silver by weight for every candlestick, and for the lamps thereof, according to the use of every candlestick. And the gold by weight for the tables of showbread, for every table, and silver for the tables of silver, and the flesh hooks, and the basins, and the cups of pure gold, and for the golden bowls by weight for every bowl, and for the silver bowls by weight for every bowl, and for the altar of incense refined gold by weight, and gold for the pattern of the chariot, even the cherubim that spread out their wings, and covered the ark of the covenant of Jehovah. All this, said David, have I been made to understand in writing from the hand of Jehovah, even all the works of this pattern. And David said to Solomon his son, Be strong and of good courage, and do it. Fear not, nor be dismayed, for Jehovah God, even my God, is with thee. He will not fail thee, nor forsake thee, until all the work for the service of the house of Jehovah be finished. And behold, there are the courses of the priests and the Levites, for all the service of the house of God. And there shall be with thee in all manner of work every willing man that hath skill, for any manner of service. Also the captains and all the people will be holy at thy commandment. End of chapter 28. Chapter 29. And David the king said unto all the assembly, Solomon my son, whom alone God hath chosen, is yet young and tender, and the work is great. For the palace is not for man, but for Jehovah God. Now I have prepared with all my might for the house of my God the gold for the things of gold, and the silver for the things of silver, and the brass for the things of brass, the iron for the things of iron, and wood for the things of wood, onyx stones, and stones to be set, stones for inlaid work, and of divers colors, and all manner of precious stones and marble stones in abundance. Moreover also, because I have set my affection on the house of my God, seeing that I have a treasure of mine own of gold and silver, I give it unto the house of my God, over and above all that I have prepared for the holy house, even 3,000 talents of gold, of the gold of Ophir, and 7,000 talents of refined silver, wherewith to overlay the walls of the houses, of gold for the things of gold, and of silver for the things of silver, and for all manner of work to be made by the hands of artificers. Who then offereth willingly to consecrate himself this day unto Jehovah? Then the princes of the fathers' houses, and the princes of the tribes of Israel, and the captains of thousands and of hundreds, with the rulers over the king's work, offered willingly. And they gave for the service of the house of God, of gold 5,000 talents, and 10,000 derricks, and of silver 10,000 talents, and of brass 18,000 talents, and of iron 100,000 talents. And they, with whom precious stones were found, gave them to the treasure of the house of Jehovah, under the hand of Jehiel the Gershonite. Then the people rejoiced, for that they offered willingly, because with a perfect heart they offered willingly to Jehovah. And David the king also rejoiced with great joy. Wherefore David blessed Jehovah before all the assembly. And David said, Blessed be thou, O Jehovah, the God of Israel our Father, for ever and ever. Thine, O Jehovah, is the greatness, and the power, and the glory, and the victory, and the majesty. For all that is in the heavens and in the earth is thine. Thine is the kingdom, O Jehovah, and thou art exalted as head above all. Both riches and honor come of thee, and thou rulest over all, and in thy hand is power and might, and in thy hand it is to make great, and to give strength unto all. Now therefore, our God, we thank thee, and praise thy glorious name. But who am I, and what is my people, that we should be able to offer so willingly after this sort? For all things come of thee, and of thine own have we given thee. For we are strangers before thee, and sojourners, as all our fathers were. Our days on the earth are as a shadow, and there is no abiding. O Jehovah our God, all this store that we have prepared to build thee a house for thy holy name cometh of thy hand, and is all thine own. I know also, my God, that thou triest the heart, and hast pleasure in uprightness. As for me, in the uprightness of my heart I have willingly offered all these things. And now have I seen with joy thy people, that are present here offer willingly unto thee. O Jehovah, the God of Abraham, of Isaac, and of Israel, our fathers, keep this forever in the imagination of the thoughts of the heart of thy people, and prepare their heart unto thee. And give unto Solomon my son a perfect heart to keep thy commandments, thy testimonies, and thy statutes, and to do all these things, and to build the palace for which I have made provision. And David said to all the assembly, Now bless Jehovah your God. And all the assembly blessed Jehovah, the God of their fathers, and bowed down their heads, and worshipped Jehovah and the king. And they sacrificed sacrifices unto Jehovah, and offered burnt offerings unto Jehovah on the morrow after that day, even 1,000 bullocks, 1,000 rams, and 1,000 lambs, with their drink offerings, and sacrifices in abundance for all Israel, and did eat and drink before Jehovah on that day with great gladness. And they made Solomon the son of David king the second time, and anointed him unto Jehovah to be prince, and Zadok to be priest. Then Solomon sat on the throne of Jehovah as king instead of David his father, and prospered, and all Israel obeyed him. And all the princes and the mighty men, and all the sons likewise of King David, submitted themselves unto Solomon the king. And Jehovah magnified Solomon exceedingly in the sight of all Israel, and bestowed upon him such royal majesty as had not been on any king before him in Israel. Now David, the son of Jesse, reigned over all Israel, and the time that he reigned over Israel was 40 years. 7 years reigned he in Hebron, and 33 years reigned he in Jerusalem. And he died in a good old age, full of days, riches, and honor. And Solomon his son reigned in his stead. Now the acts of David the king, first and last, behold, they are written in the history of Samuel the seer, and in the history of Nathan the prophet, and in the history of Gad the seer, with all his reign and his might, and the times that went over him, and over Israel, and over all the kingdoms of the countries. End of chapter 29.